Okay, so day 8 of our Via Francigena, the fast track version. So we are in
Montefiasconi.
We loved it.
Montefiasconi.
Montefiasconi. Yeah, we would live there.
I
would live there. It was it was beautiful. I mean, everything was really nice and really pretty. The church was beautiful.
Yes, impressive church.
Yep.
The view of the walled city as we were leaving was just breathtaking.
We've seen a lot of walled cities since we've been here. We've climbed, that's the end of every day is uphill because it's into a walled city. But this one was the prettiest.
It was pretty. It was special.
Yep.
It had an amazing energy to it. It was very inviting,
very nice.
And very welcoming.
Yep. And the breakfast.
She made fresh donuts.
She did.
Fresh donuts.
The wife made us hot donuts, and they were really good.
Yes,
they
were good.
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, they were very nice.
It was very nice people. So yeah, and the gardens on the top, we from where we went through, because that's the answer to every walled town has an archway, or 2, or 10, or 20. This one had a beautiful archway. You go up, and then there was a gardens area. It was like a big park at the top that was just really, really pretty. I mean, she said we spent a lot of time in this town that morning. We left way later than we had planned on leaving.
Yes.
And so the hike out of town was we kept looking back at what we were, because it was really pretty. The whole walled, once we got out of the walled area and into the countryside, it was just really pretty to constantly look back. And we were on windy Roman roads, a lot of Roman roads.
Yes, a lot of Roman roads. The highlight was that the trail actually matched the descriptions in the book.
Yeah. That's a significant thing because that's rare.
Yes. Yes. And was that the day, though, that we had a lot of exposure
to the sun?
To the sun?
Yeah, it was. We were on a lot of roads, but they were Roman roads, so they weren't like you're going to hear about it in a couple days from now, where it's like highways or something where there's cars.
Right.
It was like Roman roads, so you were kind of in the shade and out of the shade, in the shade, out of the shade, in the shade, out of the shade, the sun here is really hot.
It's very hot.
It's like Ecuador
hot.
Equator hot. It's very, very hot. I mean, look at my face. I'm fried, and this is with sunscreen on. Not that matters. I can get burnt in a basement, but it's really hot.
Yeah.
And the sun. I mean,
and there was lots of sun that day.
Literally, when we would stand under a tree, it felt like air conditioned.
Yeah.
The sun is that hot.
So the hiking went well until the end of the day. We started to enter into Vitervo. Yeah. And there was some kind of big street market thing going on.
And this is a big town.
Yes.
This is a big town. And so just to know, we hate walking into and through big towns because, one, people are not as friendly. 2, the sign, at least on this one, on the on the Camino de Santiago, it wasn't this way, but on this one, as soon as you hit town, the signs disappear. And so you're kind of winging it on your own. And we went by the app a lot, which was good, but it winds around. Again, the signage isn't there, so you don't really know where you're going. People are not friendly.
And this place was
hot.
Packed.
It was hot.
Packed of people. There were people everywhere.
Yeah, it was like this big carnival thing going on.
Yes.
And
there was
plaza
after plaza, and you don't know what plaza you're in, and you don't know what's the second right, because the plazas are all circular.
Right, and we probably might have been able to figure that out had there not been like 15 vendors on a circle.
Right.
It was culture shock, really. We had not been around that many people in 8 days.
Right.
So it was really culture shock of, oh my God, look at we're just around
and
all these people.
And they're all staring at us like we're Martians.
Right. Yeah, like they don't see people coming through here in backpacks every day, but, well, maybe not every day. But, so anyways, we find the end of the day, that's in this certain plaza, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nada. And so we start asking people for a hotel, and even though we say it in perfect Italian,
well, hotel is hotel.
Hotel is hotel, right?
And B&B is B&B. On the buildings, they all say B&B.
Yeah, nobody knows anything. And so we find the information office, and they're not helpful.
No, they have a map, but
yeah,
it's
they're
not
gonna
free.
Yeah, it's not free, and not. I said, you have a map of town, and she said, well, it's not free. So she didn't offer to sell it to me, but they're charging in the information for Pilgrims for a Map anyway. So we did find a woman who was at a restaurant that again was closed because we're during their siesta time. That took us to a bar. That then she made a phone call to somebody she knew that had a B&B up the way, and then this woman actually walked us to it.
Rang the bell and spoke to the woman in Italian because the woman didn't speak very much English, and we were able to find a room for that night.
Yeah,
and that was the room.
We were pretty tired at that point.
We were tired, and we were at the end of our ropes at that point.
Yeah,
we were stressed. Because
we were very stressed.
We
were stressed.
Weren't able to communicate, and people were telling us. And once we got to that little place, there were lots of B&Bs there. And the one man in the plaza, I saw the names of the streets he was talking about, but we would not have been able to find that place.
Well, it's one of those situations that when you, again, my 3 rules, right? You know, when nobody control your water, which we didn't have that problem, but you don't get in a hurry and you don't get frustrated. Those are my 3 rules for travel. We were stuck in those other 2 because we were really tired, and we were trying to go probably a little too fast, trying to figure out what we were doing because we were getting panicked. It's getting dark, and people are everywhere, and we're in our backpacks, and we're tired, and so luckily this woman really helped us.
Yes, and we entered this place, this B&B.
Yeah.
Lovely older woman. The place was, oh
class.
My gosh.
The place was...
It was
class.
Ancient Italian.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. From the beds to the bathroom to the 500-year-old table in the kitchen salon area.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I think the most incredible thing was we had the windows open because it was hot, and then I figured out how to turn on the air condition. And once I figured out how to turn on the air condition, then we shut the windows. But this time, the restaurant that was on the main floor was now open, and like everybody in town came to. It was really loud. I mean, dogs barking, kids screaming. We were like, there's no way we're gonna go to sleep. And we shut those windows. Silence. It was incredible.
It's like, how can those windows keep all that noise out?
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
But yeah, we laid down at 6:30 that night and did not get up until 7:30 the next morning.
Yep, we sure did. We were tired. We were whipped.
We were exhausted.
But that was the first day of the sun, really.
Yes.
That was the first day of in and out of the sun. But yeah, she was great.
Yes.
She was really nice.
Yes, that was the day that at one point we sat down under the overpass.
Oh, that's right. That's right, we did. Yeah, we went under the interstate, and this was on a main road. And
we sit down in the dirt.
I'm like, I'm done, yeah. And of course, I'm a sweater, right? So I sit down in the gravel, and I get up, and my pants are all mud.
Yep.
She was trying to dust my pants off, and she's like, yeah, there's no dusting off, it's mud now. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, we sat down in the middle of the street. It was the only shade we could find, because it was really hot. So that was day 8.